Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Saki here, and welcome to Hearts of Iron 3. Now, if you've been on my channel a while, you know that my most successful video has been Hearts of Iron 4, Fascist Iraq. And Hearts of Iron 3 takes Hearts of Iron 4 basically to the next level. I have not played Hearts of Iron 3 really before. I've watched people play it, and it's something I want to get involved with. And I figure, using Hearts of Iron 4, Fascist Iraq as the baseline, why not try Hearts of Iron 3 Iraq? Now, this is going to be interesting because we are in the Allies at the start of the game, and I believe in Hearts of Iron 4, Iraq was independent, which would allow us to fabricate claims on Saudi Arabia and move into the Arabian Peninsula. In that particular game, Russia declared war on us and we became communist Iraq, and then we were taken over by the Allies, and then we became democratic Iraq by the end of the game. But we actually were able to do a naval invasion of Japan and take Tokyo as Iraq, which was really, really cool. I'm not expecting the same level of success in this game. This is going to be a let's fail. I'm going to try to learn the game. So if you are an experienced Hearts of Iron 3 player and you see some things that could help improve my gameplay, please leave comments below. Constructive, please. I don't want to hear how bad I suck because, well, I know I do. But I want to know what I could be doing better. I'm playing on very easy, and I want to leave all of this on player control, and if I run into too much problems, I'll just flip these to AI control as needed. But in order to understand what's going on, I need to make mistakes. So let's go ahead and start this great mistake with Iraq. So one good thing about being in the Allies is I don't think we'll be able, or we won't be declared on as quickly. I'm not going to be out to declare war on people. I just want to make sure that I understand what's going on and, you know, go from there. This is the map. Let's go to there's our terrain map load and the political map mode, so you can see the borders of Iraq right here. We're surrounded by our friends in Great Britain. We also have France over here, and then the independent Persia to our east. Old Xerxes is sitting over there. And one thing that we have to look at is, you know, what is in our country right now. And we can see we have a few anti-aircraft emplacements in Kuseiban. We have one level of anti-aircraft gun there. We have one airfield, which I think is better than what we started in Hearts of Iron 4. So we got a level 4 airfield and a level 2 anti-air over Baghdad. So hopefully no bombs over Baghdad today. And Qasr has a level 2 anti-air and actually a seaport, which is interesting. We might be able to build up a navy, and by navy, I'm sure this is like Hearts of Iron 4 where we don't even know what a raft is. So I don't foresee the naval game being as strong. But if you've never seen Hearts of Iron 3 before, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these menus, shall we? Our diplomacy screen shows everyone in the world and what they are producing as far as trade goes. That's going to be pretty important. We see a diagram of where everyone sits on the big scale. So how far are people towards the Allies? How far are people to the Comintern? Or how far are people to the Axis? And these countries will drift towards one or another to join them. We can see that our band of brothers is the United Kingdom, France, us, Oman, Yemen, Bhutan, and Nepal are all in the Allies at this point in the game. The only Axis power is Germany, and in the Comintern we have the Soviet Union, Mongolia, and Tanutava. So, we are a puppet of the United Kingdom. I think what that means is we send any excess of our goods to the United Kingdom. That was the benefit of puppeting in Hearts of Iron 4, is your puppets sent you all of your excess goods first. So anything that Great Britain needs that we make, Great Britain or the United Kingdom is going to get it first. So this will be our screen here for diplomacy. Now I will automate trade because I want the game to sort of see where we're short and what they can order for us. The production panel. So we've got our divisions, air wings, and flotillas. We can make these particular sets of troops. I don't see our mountain guys which we used in the Hearts of Iron 4 gameplay to good effect, but we do have some infantry. In this game, things are produced with industrial capacity. So we can see what the cost is and the manpower cost. We've got 70 because we are basically a volunteer army, so that reduces our manpower by 50%. I guess we would have 140,000. This may be in the thousands here. So we have 70,000 people ready to go, and each infantry takes 3 of those 70. But before we do that, I'm not going to build anything just yet. We need to get our industrial capacity sorted because I think we're pretty weak in that front. Here's our technology screen, and we definitely need to research some stuff. Just like Hearts of Iron 4, there are tabs, but in this game there seems to be a lot of tabs. We can go very specialist on what we need to do. And I believe for now, we need to focus on industry, and we need to get our engineering up, allows construction of industrial capacity. So once we are able to build that, we can build more factories, hence more capacity. So I think that's a good way to go about it. We'll go ahead and research that. It's a 1918 technology, and we're in 1936. So, you know, we'll be able to not get an ahead of time penalty for that. We need 1 point of research in order to complete this. The question is, do we also research something else? Like, do we make our small arms better for our infantry? I'm guessing we want to go heavy infantry on this. We won't have the metals and the things like that to build armor and ships, so we may just be bullet sponges here. Desert warfare equipment is 2 years out, so attrition for infantry is in the desert. We are a desert people, like the Fremen. We'll look forward to that here soon. So infantry, small arms, or light artillery. I don't actually think we have any artillery at all, but we do have infantry. So let's go ahead and start researching infantry. We'll need 2 of our 3.24 leadership points for that. So we will make sure that 2 of our 3.24 points are always dedicated for research, and let the rest of these sort of balance out. Depending on our leader, I mean, it looks like we aren't at a good leader percentage. So we have 964 officers, but we need 1,600. So we may boost up the need for officers here, which will lower our diplomacy and our espionage. So we're not going to be making spies, and we're not going to have the influence to really talk to people. But as a puppet, I don't think that's really our place. I mean, I could be mistaken, but that's how I'm feeling. So we'll boost up our officers, and then once we achieve a proper officer ratio, then we will sort of even out the points as they are, but definitely dedicate 2 to the research. So it looks like these are going to be done this year in July and August, which is really cool. There is our mountain infantry. We will need small arms at least 1, infantry support at least 1, light artillery at least 1, and anti-tank at least 1. So we need to research these 4 before we can start the branch of the mountain infantry. So that's where our boys were in the last game. Our politics screen. This is our leadership. You can see who is in charge of what, and we can see the party breakdown. So it's pretty almost even split. We have the Hashemites, a paternal autocrat, and I believe this is split up to, say, fascists here, democratic, or the alliance here, and the Comintern down here. Not a whole lot of support for the communism. We have the Stalinists and the Leninists, the market liberals and the social conservatives, and the paternal autocrats. Now, if we were to roll with a fascist Iraq, I think we might be able to replace these guys with a fascist candidate, and sort of going along the lines of what we did in the last game, I kind of want to do that. So we have intel during peace plus 10%. We don't have any real spy network, so we're not spying on anyone. Nuri as-Said is not going to be good for us. Susceptibility to Axis, the Great Compromiser, Musa al-Alami. If we were to join the fascists, I mean, we are a puppet under Great Britain or the United Kingdom, so I don't think we can say, hey, you know what, we're with them now. Let's see, tendency to drift due to internal factors, plus 5%. So drifting? Huh. You know what? Let's just try it. Why not? We'll drift towards the axis here. All right, consumer goods during, oh man, there's a lot of people here. The armament minister. Consumer goods during wartime and peacetime lowered. That would be good for us as far as our industrial capacity is concerned, because we can't produce a whole lot as far as our production goes. We're going to need supplies in order to keep the people, or the consumer goods to keep the people happy. We want to keep this as low as possible because we need to focus on our production. Once we can start building factories, we're going to need this as much as possible, and we only have 7 industrial capacity as it is. We're not a powerhouse by any means. So I think that would be pretty good for us to lower that. Ruling party support, that would be our king. Our king right now, if we look at our politics, is the head of state, Ghazi I Ibn Faisal, and he is the socialist conservative. So that would boost up the democratic support. He's also the armament minister, is he? That kind of seems a little one-sided, doesn't it? Let's see, supplies. Oh, that's really good. So if we were to appoint Amir al-Jahed, or Yahed, not sure, but that would increase our supplies by 20%. And that way we don't run into a supply shortage. We can focus on less production of supplies and do that way. I do like that. Amir, you are in, good sir. The Minister of Security, Ali ibn Hussein. If you're thinking what I'm thinking, but I'm not exactly sure. So industrial capacity drop. We do not want industrial capacity to drop by 3% or ruling party. So counter-espionage, but daily dissent change goes up. Counterintelligence, 10%. So I don't like these negative modifiers, if I'm honest. The daily dissent change, we don't want dissent due to this backstabber Ali ibn Hussein. So we'll do that so our dissent doesn't rise. Head of Intelligence, Yassin Pasha al-Hashmi. Naval intelligence, we really don't care. Industrial espionage bonus, political intel. Let's do industrial intel. We want to get our factories as good as we can. So if we can boost our industrial intel, that would be fine. The Chief of Staff, Bakr Saki. Let's see, defend reinforced chance, attack reinforced chance. I like attack reinforcing chance. The School of Fire support, we'll pick him. Chief of the Army, Frederick G. Peak. Interesting. Mobile unit practical decay, armor practical decay, supply reduction is nice. Infantry, and I'm not sure what practical decay is. Is that how much attrition we get? Not entirely sure. But I like the lack, or the reduction of supplies. Let's see, Chief of the Navy. You mean our boat? Yeah. A.R.H. Nye, probably on loan from the United Kingdom, if I had to say. Destroyer Practicality, and Chief of the Air Force. Air Superiority Doctrine. They're both the same. Let's put in support there. All right, so let's look at our civil laws. So we are in repression right now. Consumer goods are down during peace. Good counterintelligence and ruling party support. We can change to, that would really, partisan efficiency, counterintelligence reduction, legalistic restrictions, huh? Oh, we can't do that because the, oh, we can. Oh, the unity. So yeah, we're at 70. We can do that. We can change. But I like the fact that we use less consumer goods during, well, I mean, that's wartime. And it's not my goal to be involved in any wars. Of course, the war is going to kick off. But for now, in the time being, partisan, counterintelligence reduction, partisan efficiency. Let's just do, see, limited restriction. Sure. Why not? Let's do it. Who cares? Conscription. We can't change anything. We are a volunteer army. We can't do the draft until the neutrality is below 65 and the unity is at least 60. Or if we are not a democracy, which we're not, the neutrality is below 70 and unity is 60. So as the threat of war increases, we can increase the amount of manpower we can get, better officer recruitment, having reserves, because we're an all-reserve army right now as well. That would help. But we can't change that. We're on full mobilization. We don't want to lose any industrial capacity. So those decisions are out the door. Education. I like big education. We've got $1. We increase money even with the big education investment. So I like the leadership. We might be able to appoint some really good guys from that. Let's see, we've got consumer product orientation or mix. So supply is increased. I like supply. Consumer goods during peace is reduced in wartime. Daily dissent. Dissent's not really a big deal. And I like the reduction during peacetime. With the heavy emphasis, if we go to war, we can hopefully change to the heavy. Unity is at least 70 at war, and unity is 80. So that should be hopefully good. If we go to war, we can swap to the heavy industry. We have a state press. We can only change to free press, tendency to drift, national unity change, plus 20%. Oh, national unity changes. So does that drop? So say we go from 70, that would put us at like 50 plus 20, and it's red, so that's bad. So that would drop the unity. And it makes sense because the free press would separate ideas and whatnot. We'll do state press, keep people unified. And we've got specialist training. It increases the recruit time, but the good starting experience. So this is the question. Do we want to basically just throw a bunch of untrained soldiers out, or do we want the ones that graduate to have good training? And if we're not going to be pulled into a war for 3 or 4 more years, if this follows historical trends, I think we've got some time to recruit some people, and that experience may prove dividends. Because let's face it, if Soviet Russia comes down from the north, we are not going to withstand anything, no matter our experience. So it's better to have some experience on the front rather than a lot of mass casualties. So there we go. Our politics are set. Our intelligence we can't do anything with because we are not generating any points, I don't believe. We have 1 spy in Germany. And I believe we have no free spies. We have 16 spies abroad. We have 2 domestic spies doing counterintelligence. So that should be fine. It would probably help if we have 1 in Germany. We've got 1 in Saudi Arabia. Tanutava, we've got some priority in Tanutava. Let's just drop the priority in Tanutava and send 1 to the Soviet Union. An extra emphasis on Soviet Union. I want to know what they're doing if we can. And there's our statistics. All right, so now that that is all well and good, we're getting all of our pop-ups from our ministers and whatnot. Next thing to do is set up our army, and everyone is grouped up here in Baghdad. We've got a few headquarter companies as well as a motorized infantry and then 4 regular infantry divisions. And one of the things that we have to do is organize this chain of command because I believe if we go to the Baghdad HQ... Oh, nope. Close that out. If we go to the Baghdad HQ, we've got the 1st Brigade under it, and then the 1st Brigade. So it kind of looks like we have the correct chain of command, but I'm probably going to do it by hand just to make absolutely sure we have the right people. So what I'm going to do is off camera, I'm going to reorganize my army, get a few divisions up north, and then a few divisions down south, and then hopefully have a good spider web in place. So I will see you in just a moment. All right, I've moved my divisions where I think I want them. I've got 3 of the infantry in the north. We have the middle headquarters right here in Kirkuk. our main headquarters staying in Baghdad, who does actually have the Royal Army Air Force, which is interesting. We've got some infantry down here and the motorized infantry to our south. And one thing I want to do is take a look at our commanders. So being at the top of the hierarchy, we need to take a look at little perks that we can do. So Ghazi is a 0 skill, and he's a really high rank, but unfortunately, it's not going to help us in the grand scheme of things. But we do have 2 old guards, so they don't gain experiences quickly. But there's the 10% defense bonus and the supply consumption 25% less. Now, the higher up the hierarchy you go, the less this is. But I think Abin Hussein would be good in this particular place. We need to promote him up. Let's see. There we go. A 2-star. So he can run that. Now his bonus of supply usage will then trickle down to these other 5 divisions that he is currently over. The overarching person, defensive +10 fortress busters, fort attack. I don't know if we're going to be doing any forts. We also have offense +10 and defense +10. We could trickle down a very small defensive bonus or a very small offensive bonus, which I think would be good. Or we could just do the Fortress Buster. We'll do that. So everyone is now a very small Fortress Buster. Up here to our north, these guys should give a much better bonus. So defense, sure. Let's put you on defense. Let's put you on offense. Defense and then offense. And then here, we might as well do peak. And then we've got a couple more divisions without leaders, so we might as well put the best skills in charge. So Al-Rawi. And down here in the motorized, we've got Bakr Sikti, who does have some experience. All right, so that is the army all set up. Let's play and see what we can get into here. We are currently producing a 3 infantry brigade, going to be produced in June of 36 as reserves. This is what our industrial capacity looks like. We've got enough consumer goods to sort of sway the descent. We have our officer ratio going up from our technology. We're really pushing the officers. Things are looking up as far as the construction, engineering, and small arms. July and August still on tap. As far as intelligence goes, I don't know what we can exactly learn. Let's see. We were spying in the Soviet Union. Or I guess, okay, so we don't know anything about them. We can sort of see their government breakdown. They have 1,000, probably a million, I would say. 1,084,000. 1,000 million, sure. Huh, that seems pretty big. How about Saudi Arabia? So you've got 2,000 in your manpower. We've got 67. We've got more manpower than that. We have Ad Danam. We know their leader here. Interesting. Let's do... change the mission to military espionage in Saudi Arabia. Shanxi. Let's do... I don't think they're technologically superior. What we can do we have any in Great Britain? Or I guess the United Kingdom, they would call it. Yeah, let's study technology. Tech espionage. I'm sure as a puppet they may give it to us. But I would kind of like maybe a bonus if our spy managed to see something cool. That'd be awesome. have one Iraqi walking around the United Kingdom, you know. As far as Germany goes, we don't have any spies in Germany, so we can't really see what's going on. Oh, the National Socialist blah blah party. You know, that's not in power yet. Interesting. Or it doesn't have a majority. I'm sure that's going to swing here soon as the game continues. But yeah, it feels good to be back in Hearts of Iron. We can sort of see what France is doing. They're part of the Allies as well. We're really snug as a bug in a rug, really. It might not be a bad idea to look at Persia. Tehran. With our spies here. Maybe we can pick something up in Persia. Do we have any spies in Persia? We do. Your focus will be military espionage, please. See what you can find out in Persia. That way, if Persia decides to join, you know, I'm actually not sure. What do we know about Persia? Looks strongly fascist, if I had to make a guess. They're rich, that's for sure. One thing that's concerning me is our energy usage. I'm not sure if that's because we are running factories to build the troops or to study. But while we're doing this, we are using up some power, and we don't have any power-producing provinces in this country. And I don't think power is something that you can trade for, if I'm honest. I mean, what would you do? Put a generator on a boat? So I'm not sure exactly what would happen if we run out of power or energy. Hopefully we can sort of, I don't know, work out a deal from France to borrow some power? All right, so if we were to look at France, a surplus of 0.9 energy a day. How about our buddies in the United Kingdom? How much are you all producing? 15 per? That would definitely be nice. We do have one diplomatic influence to spend. Request to build a number of units developed by another country and offer a trade agreement. It's not up to us. Well, hopefully the United Kingdom is a good buddy and sends us some power if we're struggling. They have more than enough. How about the threat? Who is the highest threat in the world? No one yet. So at this point, everyone is playing nice as we're trying to build up what we can here. Technology's still going. If we had some extra points in technology, that would only give us 0.24 to use on officers. Once we get our officer ratio to the requirements, and everything looks good there, and we don't need as many officers, we may pick up a third technology. Because then the technology would be able to be boosted to 3. I'm glad we got that big education investment. That's helping out a lot. Actually, a base of 2 plus 20%. If we can do something to get the leadership points up, that would be amazing. I don't know if naval engine research, rocket research, mechanical engineering. What does that do? I know it allows us to go to radios and all that stuff, but see, oil refining, metal production. Oh, you say? Well, it's 5% of 0. We don't make metal. That's not going to help us a bit. We need, like, factories that can make metal and power. Let's see. Do we make metals? Oh, the Spanish Civil War kicked off. Let's head on over there. See what we got. Salas de los Infantes. Nationalist Spain, right here. And then Le Solana. Surrender to Italy. Of course, Italy annexed Ethiopia, as is the custom in Hearts of Iron 4. I did see a playthrough where Ethiopia survived. But, I mean, it's got to be tough. Got to be tough indeed. All right, so I think for the time being, we're all set up. We've got the clock going on speed 4. It's already through 2 months period of time. We're just waiting on Germany to sort of kick things off. We're waiting on our reserves to be produced. We're waiting on our industrial capacity to increase here. Let's see, rare materials production, coal to oil supplies. Supply production up 5% would help take some of the load off of our industrial capacity, I believe. If we made more with the same amount of industrial capacity, I think that's correct. But it's going to be a long road to hold, and we're going to stick with it, thick and thin, good or bad. But that's going to do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next Hearts of Iron 3 video. Take care.